Good evening, everybody. This is Pastor Wendell Jones. I want to welcome you to another edition of The Relevant Church. We are praying that we're bringing you some substantive stuff. We really do believe we are. And so we thank you to our regulars. We thank you to folks who are coming in for the first time. I am excited about tonight. I know I say that every Monday night, but I am, because I'm realizing just the quality of people that we have in the area. I also feel so blessed with the friends that I have in my life who have said yes to me to be on our show. Our goal is to talk about relevant topics in our community. And tonight we are going to talk about just one of those. Tonight's topic is Black entrepreneurship. Folks, we have to have our leaders in the community who are fully engaged in commerce, not just so that they can build wealth for themselves, but so that they can open some doors to our sons and our daughters, our cousins, our friends, just to be able to bring opportunity to our community like so many other communities do. And we are learning to do that. And we're getting pretty good at it. And tonight I've got some wonderful people on. I got a young man who is doing an exceptional job as an entrepreneur. I'm going to introduce y'all to him in a minute. And I've got two up and coming entrepreneurs. They're already out there. They're already making some stuff happen. But I wanted to connect them tonight with Mr. Carlo White so he can share some of his wisdom with them tonight in hopes that he can give them some nuggets so that their businesses can take off like his has done. And so I'm so excited to bring this information to you tonight. So we're going to bring our panel out right now and give me a chance to introduce you to them. And then we're going to start this dialogue and see if we can get some information and some help to our community. Come on, Tina, bring them all out for me. This is my group here tonight. First up, we got Miss Tiffany Singleton. Tiffany is the owner and operator of Tiffany Nicole Beauty LLC and the co-owner of Chef Downs Catering LLC. She has been in the beauty industry for over 15 years now and specializing in healthy hair. She is a licensed cosmetologist as well as cosmetology instructor. When she isn't busy being the proud mother of her baby's legend and Isa, I said it right, didn't I? Isa, she is herself a student, which is wonderful, always learning and furthering herself. She finds great joy in learning so that she can turn around and be a teacher. So Tip, thank you so much. Tiffany, but I call her Tip, so that's what I'm talking about, y'all. All right, and beside her on the screen there, you see my man, Stephen Carpenter. Stephen is a resident here in Greenville, South Carolina. He is the owner and creator of Comfort Camp Progress, LLC. Stephen is a U.S. Army and Iraqi war veteran and graduate of Kaplan University, where he graduated with a BA in Business Administration and Management. Stephen created Comfort Camp Progress back in 2014 after a wake-up call from his doctor. Stephen was left with the ultimatum that he had to lose weight or die. Stephen was battling obesity and high blood pressure. Comfort Camp Progress became his war chant when he wanted to quit his workouts. And those three words became cemented in his mind and helped him to overcome some of those obstacles. We understand that, Stephen. Stephen made Comfort Camp Progress an official business back in 2018, and he hasn't looked back ever since. Stephen is also providing a great service to our community because he is a school teacher over at Lead Academy, where he teaches a business class to several of the students, already having them to do business plans and elevator pitches and budgeting. So he's preparing the next round of entrepreneurs for our community. When he isn't preparing the youth to take over the world, he is running a small business and creating motivational apparel for any and everyone who wants to escape their comfort zone. So Steve, thank you, man, for being on the show with us tonight. And last but not least, my man, Carlo White. Carlo is the president of White Holdings, LLC, a business management firm located in Greenville, South Carolina. Carlo's business career spans over 20 years, ranging from real estate to financial services and now to transportation logistics. In 2004, Carlo acquired a nationwide insurance agency. And in just 12 years, utilizing a merger and acquisition strategy, he grew that business, y'all. Listen to these numbers, Tiff and Steven. He grew that business from $600,000 in revenue to $4 million in premium. In 2015, Carlo also launched a logistics division under his holding company, and that's called White Holdings Trucking, or WH Trucking. And Carlo has a Bachelor of Science degree in economics from Clemson University. Like Stephen, he is a military man. He served the United States as an Air Force captain, where he supported the war on terror by managing a $36 million budget as the comptroller of his Air Force base out in Kuwait. After his military service, Carlo joined me way back in the day at Wachovia as a banker there, and he was there for 2 years. And just kind of give y'all a tidbit. It's funny. I introduced Carlo to banking, then Carlo gave me the hand back, and he introduced me to Nationwide. So we've been tied at the hip for a while. He is a wonderful person, passionate fella, involved in several civic functions. He and his wife have formed the Carlo and Nico White Foundation, which focuses on empowering disadvantaged communities across this world by giving them access to tools and resources to help them build a brighter future. He serves on many boards. He's married to Nika. They got 2 wonderful kids that my kids love, Hannah and CJ. And so I'm excited to expose Stephen and Tiffany to Carlo tonight. Y'all some impressive people. I need a drink of water after reading all of that stuff. I'm glad I ain't got to read my bio. But I'm so glad to have you here, because this is a picture right here in front of me of one of my great passions. I am an entrepreneur at heart, and just to see my brother being successful at it, and to see these 2 younger people that I think they're younger than you. No, you and Steven probably about the same age, Carlo. Y'all younger than me. This younger generation getting prepared to take the baton. So tonight we're gonna have a great conversation, folks. I'm gonna talk a little bit tonight, guys, but then I'm gonna kind of back up and try to play in the background and give them a chance to talk to Carlo. I want to ask Carlo a couple things, and then I'm gonna turn it over to these my up and comers to begin to ask Carlo some questions. Carlo.
Yes, sir.
As I just described, buddy, you know, we met when you came home from service. You know, we connected, and you joined the banking industry with me. Wasn't there very long. What what happened? What clicked to make you realize, man, I need to try my hand at this entrepreneurship? What happened, bro?
Well, for me, I grew up with watching my dad work for himself.
Gotcha.
And here's the thing: my dad didn't do anything big. He didn't do anything. I mean, but what he did it for himself. And that man worked with a passion and a freedom to likes that, man, I just knew I wanted to get that. So growing up, I used to work with my dad, and he would work from sun up to sundown when he never complained. There's a saying: a man that finds works he loves never works another day in his life.
Yeah.
And my dad, when you work for yourself and you got that in you, it's a passion. It is love. I mean, man, it's you can go, your stamina is off the charts. Like his stamina was off the charts.
Absolutely.
So I get into corporate America, I get into the Air Force, and I get into corporate America, and I find I don't have no stamina. I was wore out, Wendell. I mean, just doing the politics, trying to make sure you had the right face on them for all the time. I'm kind of introvert and trying to get off work and then go meet with them in socials and all of that stuff. It was wearing me out. So what clicked for me is, I knew I kind of wanted to be like my dad and run my own business, but what clicked is when I got corporate America, and it confirmed it. Yeah, man, you're a fish out of water.
Yes.
You need to get back and try to build something for yourself. And so Wendell, when I was at I don't know if you know this, but I had a Janikin, and that's a cleaning franchise. And so what I would do is wear a suit and go do small business banking, get off, put on my jeans, and go clean toilets. Because there's a concept that I learned with Rich Dad Poor Dad. What Rich Dad Poor Dad is, it says always be minding your own business.
Yes.
So even if you're working for someone else, always be trying to build something, even if it's taking your skill set that you're selling to corporate America, be trying to kind of craft that to where you can sell that privately as well.
Yes,
always
sir.
be minding your own business. Always be just working on something, because you never know when they're gonna have a layoff. You never know when they. So I was already working on that now. Jana King didn't work, and I had to close it down. But I still was just crafting and maturing as an entrepreneur as I mind my own business. So what I learned there, because in entrepreneurship, if you do it right, there are no losses, there are only lessons. And so I learned there and I applied it.
Wait. You ran past that too fast. Say that again. I need the people to hear that. There are no losses. What?
No, there's only lessons. There's only
Only
lessons.
lessons.
Yes, sir. And so everybody get tied to the vehicle. This business may or may not work. Every time we do a business, it's risk. It's taking on risk. This one may or not work. But whether you are going to actually eventually find a vehicle that will help support and build wealth for your family, that's not a question. When you make a commitment, it's done. It's just it may be this vehicle, it may not. You make it okay. So we learn from that one. Let's go with the next one. If that one doesn't work, if that one works, hey, good on you. You're on your way to doing it. But yeah, I committed to becoming an entrepreneur, and Anakin didn't work, but Nationwide did. And so as soon as I could, I jumped at the opportunity to get off the corporate America band on to building my own thing. So it's
Awesome.
just it started with my dad. It was confirmed when I actually was out there, and I said, yeah, I got to get back to building my.
So that thing was in you from the jump.
It was in me.
That's awesome. And I want Stephen to hear, and I want the audience to hear, because I know this very well in terms of teaching entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur myself. I need them to hear that it's a lesson, because oftentimes the first stab ain't the right one.
Mm-mm.
It ain't the one that you're gonna knock over the fence, but it's the one that's gonna give you the tools to identify the real one.
Yes.
And so people have to know that, because people, Carlos, folks, they'll quit if this little mom and pop idea doesn't work. I'm done. I'm going back. But that's not the heart of the entrepreneur.
It's not Wendell. So here's the thing. Even before that, I had I had I thought I was gonna blow up in real estate. And so when I went down to Warner Robins, we didn't have any debt, so I leveraged. We didn't have any debt. We just had our new income. So as new college students going, we had a good cash flow income. We didn't really have any debt, so I leveraged that, and I got into buying some apartments. And man, the dude saw me coming. What you don't know, you don't know. When you're trying to blaze a trail, especially when you're the first one, oh, you're gonna take some knocks upside the head for your kids and your kids and your cousin them and everything. You got to take all that.
I call it dumb tax.
Yes,
you don't know.
You got to pay that dumb tax. And so that's what I did. And look, when I was at WeAreCYM, I had got so upside down in that real estate back in Warner Robins.
I remember, Carlo.
My whole WeAreCYM check was going to try to cover note on that rental property, as it was vacant. I didn't have the cash to fix it, and nobody was coming into those messed up parts. So it's just, you don't know what you don't know. And here's the thing: one of the top things you want to have as entrepreneurs is integrity. And so I promised them people I'd pay them back. I went to work for WeAreCYM just to pay them back. And we paid them back. We paid them back, didn't miss a thing, kept our credit intact and everything. And finally, once I got Nationwide, I had some wins, and I was able to go and pay those notes off. But yeah, it's not just simply you get out there and hit a home run the first time you swing.
It ain't for the faint of heart.
No.
It ain't. If you got gastrointestinal issues, it may not be for you. Pepto-Bismol on the rocks tastes pretty good.
Yes.
Carlo, before I turn it over to Stephen and Tiffany, tell the people a little bit about your foundation, which I think is incredible. But the motivating impetus behind it is Christ and commerce. Tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah, and so the Carlo and Nico White Foundation, it was birthed out of Nika and I. We know where we come from, and we know the hand of God has been on us, and He has so blessed us. And He said to Abraham, "I will bless you, but be clear, I'm blessing you to be a blessing." So off of that mandate that He gave Abraham and our forefather, who now He gives to every one of us as His followers, God puts His hands on you, not just for you. He puts His hands on you for y'all. And God has blessed me and Nika. So we wanted to be a blessing. So we started Carlo and Nika White Foundation, and it's based off Christ and his love for us. Through his love, man, we've gotten hope. His, we always focus on God's power, but then to understand this all powerful one is in love with me. And so
Yes.
he gives a hope. He gives a hope that allows me and Nika to have the audacity to think that we can impact the world. First of all, to think that we can run some businesses. Scary enough. Then once we start seeing some business, we say, okay, well, we don't have to just keep everything for us. We actually could probably help some people with this. It's Christ, his love, and his power that gives us the hope to make us think we can do something transformative. And why did we choose commerce? Because there's nothing that changed the game. Nika had a job, I had a job. And we wouldn't be nowhere near where we are if we would have just stayed on those jobs. You get into running your own business. You now have unlimited potential. You have
Yes.
unlimited earning power. And if you ever play sports, Kirk Kellogg, whatever his name is, Mr. Kellogg, he says that when he loves teams that have spurt ability, meaning that they can get real down, but because they can shoot the 3-pointer, they can come back from this huge deficit. And that's what business can do. Once you hit it right, it can make up so much ground. It really can. Another thing too, typically you're not as constrained other people's opinion of you because your skin is dark or because you're female or because you in business. No, if you learn how to do business, you can grow, you can have tremendous success, and you can kind of like shoot straight past all those barriers that they sometimes put in corporate America. And that's why I feel with our communities, Harlem White Foundation is focused on underprivileged communities, especially Black communities. Our community has been ravaged through this whole justice system, this whole war on drugs, this whole locking people up for little petty stuff. And then they label you for the rest of your life as if that one moment is going to define. In commerce, you can come out, you can learn a trade, you can also learn a business skill, and then man, you can make as much money as a plumber, as a carpenter, as a welder, as a you can make as much money as anybody with a master's degree working in somebody's corporate America. And so when you get in touch with Christ and you let the fact that who he is, all powerful, is in love with you, and he'll use all that power to take you not only to the other side, but through it and shape and mold you and make you stronger and protect. Now you have the confidence to take some risks because that's what it's going to take. And you got to take risks. You're going to get beat up. You're going to take some L's, but not losses. You're going to take some lessons. And then you're gonna take an L though, but they're gonna be lessons, and then you just keep going, and that's why we feel like the combination of Christ, commerce, and in this community, building more like-minded people that understand that we all been blessed to be a blessing, and then let's lift some people up. That's what it's about.
I forgot to tell y'all, Carlos a preacher too. Yeah, I think y'all gotta figure that out right there. Man, I love what y'all are doing. You're being successful and you didn't hoard it for yourself. You are building wealth for your kids and your children's children that the Bible has instructed you to do, but also you've extended your branches beyond your bloodline. And man, I commend you for that. I so commend you for that. All right. They've been sitting here patiently chomping at the bits because they're ready to ask you some stuff. Look at them. They're getting unmuted. They're ready. So y'all, Tip, we're going to let ladies go first. What would you like to ask Brother White?
Carlo, you said that you're watching your father work and build his business was one of your motivating factors. If you could only give one piece of advice to a new entrepreneur or somebody thinking of going into business for themselves, what would that one piece of advice be that you would give them? That one strong piece that you feel like would carry them through their launching their business and growing their business?
Yes. So one thing I want entrepreneurs to get is entrepreneurship is a mindset. Okay. And this is what I mean. This is the mindset. I don't know who said it, but I've adopted it. Entrepreneurship is solving problems for profit. Okay. Solving problems for a profit. It's a mindset. And so with that mindset, so many people think they're not true entrepreneurs until they get a name above a building or mm-mm. You are an entrepreneur right here. Every one of us are entrepreneurs, even if you work a W-2. The first place you need to solve a problem for a profit is in your personal household. You got to run a profitable personal P&L, okay? Because that's
Mhm.
going to help if you can learn to live below your means. If you can learn to be profitable every month, that's going to help you take some extra cash and build that business.
Oh, that's
Right?
good.
That's gonna
That's
take
good.
you. That's gonna help you. So many people think they can't run a profitable P&L. They're above they're living above their means. They're negative every month, and so out of desperation, they just got to try to do this business because hopefully it's gonna give them more money than the other one. And that sometimes works. But if I was giving you an advice, you are entrepreneur right now. Figure out a way to have a budget, live beneath your means, take that extra cash, start stacking it for the ultimate when you get the shingle, when you get the name tag, and when you get because if you can run a personal profitable P&L, you probably can run a business P&L. If you can't run a personal profitable P&L, meaning budget statement, it's gonna be hard to run it as a
Yeah.
most people think we have money problems. Very few of us have money problems. Most of us have money management problems.
Hmm.
That's why, as an entrepreneur, you are that even before you get the title, even before you get the name. You are that right there just with your personal house. Manage it to a profit, and then use that skill set to go and make a profit in business. I think I think that mindset. I think it's tremendous as we start solving problems from our own house and then launching it out into our business.
Oh man, that's great advice. Before we go to Steven, I'm gonna do something. I meant to do this earlier, Carlo, and I know you humble and yeah, so you wouldn't do it on your own. I'm gonna make you do this though for the audience, not as if you need credibility. Two questions real quick.
Mhm.
When did you start the truck company? What year was it?
I started the trucking company in 2015.
2015.
Mhm.
How many trucks do you have running now?
We have 27 trucks running. We have 40 associates. We're getting ready to crest 7 million in revenue, um, and um, and yeah, we're getting ready to come up on our 6th year.
Just let that sizzle in your spirit because again, and you know what, I as proud as I am of hearing them say 7 million in sales, the numbers I like the most was this. I'm gonna have him say it again. How many associates?
40 associates. Yep.
He is changing 40 lives, if not 40 families.
And check it out. When all this what they call it workable living wage $15 and everything came up. We were under it, and I said, I want to get there. First of all, I think it's coming, but before it even comes, I want to get there. And so it was like 2 years ago. No one that works with us make under $15 an hour. So
Wow.
yeah.
You
We're
read my
heading.
mind, boy. You read because I knew that, and I was like, I gotta figure out how to ask that. I'm glad you said it. Because again, that y'all listen, y'all. Those y'all who are watching, and again, he doesn't need me to represent him, but I need y'all to hear that because this is something he and I talk about, Nico and I talk about, is that if we're doing this not just to put money in our pockets, but to impact the community. And the way you do that is a livable wage.
Hmm.
We ain't got to wait on the federal government to change the minimum wage. We ain't got to do that. We got to get in and solve a problem
Hmm.
for profit
Mhm.
and share it. Carlo, outstanding. Steve, what you got, baby?
Yes, sir. So, I've heard that the first 5 years of business are like the hardest. So, how do you balance your family and business time? Because for me, it's like I work 7 to 4, and then I get home from work and I'm working on my business from 5 to 12. So I'm not able to really invest time into my family because it's going to work and then it's going to my business. So how are you able to have a great balance for both, where both like where both are still getting like time?
Yeah. So that's a good question, and it's one that every entrepreneur struggles with. Let me tell you how I settled it. I settled it with priority. Okay, and just know this: priority does not mean majority. I'm say it again. Priority does not mean majority. It just means first. So God wants to be priority number one. He don't want you praying for 40, for 20 or 24 hours. He wants you out there productive. He just wants to be first. Me, and what that means is if I got three things, 4 or 5 things to go, my priority is I'm gonna make sure that one is done first and the other ones are done second. Even though I would spend the majority on probably 2 or 3 and 4, I gotta check in with one first. So I check in with God every morning. I check in with him and I make sure that I meditate with him for me. And then I gotta go, that's maybe 30 minutes. I go do 23 and a half elsewhere. But make no mistake with my who and what is my priority. He's my priority. He knows that, and we've settled that with my time. With my family, my wife, my kid, it's just about making sure you spend some time with them and that they are not feeling like they're on the back of the bus. You're not right now, you're not gonna spend a whole lot of time with them. You want equality. You want to make sure that baby, what do you want to do? You ain't at this point. You don't have time to do for when y'all get together to do what you want to do because what you want to do is build a business. So when y'all get together, it's all about them. But, little one, what you want to do? Because when I do get with you, we're gonna do what you want to do. Maybe when I get with you, we're gonna do what you want to do. The rest of that time is me building my business. I ain't got time to then get with them and then tell them all about what we're gonna do that I want to do. They are the priority. And once you check in with them,
Good, brother.
once you check in with them, now that frees you to go and then spend the rest of your the majority of your day, which is not the most important part, it is the majority, and that is building your business. So remember, priority doesn't mean majority. It just means you check in with them, make sure that they're healthy and good first. And with your family, you kind of communicate them that this is going to take most of my time. So I want to make sure that we spend quality time together. It could be simple as we're going to eat together. It could be simple as we're gonna do one fun thing a week together. It can be as simple as you get that buy-in from them, and then you make sure that you cannot keep coming to them saying, "Oh, but I got this extra project. I got no, 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 no." Once you set up and they agree that if you can give me this piece of you, you can be free to do the rest. You protect that.
Okay.
You give them that piece of you, and then and that frees you to go do the rest. And I'm gonna tell you, when it come together, man, when it come together. It's amazing. Just a little intentional quality time with the business, with the kids. Hey, then you go spend the rest of your time building that business, man. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Okay.
Carl, I like that because I noticed a pattern right there. When you were talking to Tiffany, was talking about money. You said we don't have a money problem, we have a money management problem.
Mhm.
I think that same principle goes over into this. We don't have a time problem, we have a time management problem.
Yeah.
And so, in other words, we have to take responsibility for everything that matters to us, whether it be the money, whether it be the time. We can't just let that stuff happenstance. We have to order our days.
Mhm.
Man, that was an excellence. It's priority, but it may not be majority. It may not consume the majority of your time, but the time they get will be quality, and
Mhm.
that's what matters.
Mhm.
That's outstanding. Great advice. Tip, you ready? You got something?
Yeah, I just want to kind of go back to what you were saying about like time management because I went into business for myself because my biggest thing was I was working in corporate America and I was working these crazy hours. I didn't have time for my daughter. And I was like, I'm tired of not being able to go to school functions and her not be able to participate in stuff because somebody else is dictating my schedule. But then I found myself when I went into business for myself working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Mhm.
and still not spending that time with her. And I saw that it affected her more than it did when I worked a job with a definite schedule because she knew at least I had this time. So I just want to tell any entrepreneur out there that's listening, Pastor, you always told us to manage our day. Like I write my day down before the night before. What I'm going to do the next day, I write it down the night before. So make sure you do that and stick to it no matter what, because if you don't, you're gonna get burned out and you're gonna lose time. But my question to Carlo is, how important was mentorship to you? Did you have mentors? Did you have people that you worked or you mentored under while you were building your business? And how important was that to the success of your businesses?
It was critical. It was critical. Yep, I actually had mentors, and here's the thing: some people don't even know they were my mentors. So here's the thing: when as this entrepreneur mindset, a portion of it is to be curious. Okay, curiosity is one of the key components to just being just growth. It's a growth mindset. You're just always curious. So as a learner, I sought people out. I saw if they used to send out, you could find out who were the top agents in nationwide, and I would call and try to go spend time with the top agents in nationwide. Some you couldn't even get on the phone, but others you would be surprised would not only invite you down, but then lay out the red carpet, pay for dinner, make sure they set aside time. Because typically, a lot of people who are successful out of 50% of the people who are successful, they want to tell you about how they got there. Most people are too intimidated to ask. They think they're untouchable just because they've had a little success. I would never, they would never spend time with me. No, you just got to take the risk. And yes, you're going to get some no's. You're going to get a yes. And so they brought me in and they would tell me how they were doing their agency. And that changed the game on that. I remember looking from afar at Merle Cole. Merle Cole, let me tell you what I loved about him. Merle Cole had this brand. I just remember everywhere when I came back to Greenville, everybody talking about Merle Cole.
Merle Cole, yep.
Everybody was talking about Merle Cole. I remember, so I always said I wanted to get with him. Till I was in Tommy's Ham House. I was in Tommy's Ham House selling Tommy a policy because Tommy became my customer in the insurance agency. And while I was waiting on Mr. Tommy to come out the back to sign the policy, I looked over and I go Merle Cole sitting by himself having breakfast. Nervous, scared. I said, doggone, I got it. I went over, introduced myself, and just said, hey, Mr. Cole, you don't know me, man. I've been watching you from afar. If you can spare some time, I'd love to take you out to lunch or breakfast. It's on me. I just like that. He was a little flustered, like, dude, don't you know I'm trying to, I'm trying to eat, I'm trying to have. He was not rude. He said, okay. He said, okay. We'll get together. He called me young man, we'll get together. I said, thanks, sir. So we eventually hooked up. And Merle Cole told me that, remember, I told him I was coming after him because brand, like, how do you get this brand? He said, what you do is he said that you got to find something that you're passionate that is nonprofit. He said, affluent people, they're all gathered around nonprofit boards trying to do good for their community. He said, so you go and you find something that you're passionate about, but then you go and you join up on that board. He said, and once you go in and volunteer there, he said, when you get there, raise your hand. He said, when they say they want to do something and nobody wants your job, you raise your hand. He said, you take the job and you perform. He said, now everybody on that board will know your name. And everybody on that board will seek you out to be on other boards with them because they know you can get it done.
Yes, they will.
Wendell, game changing. Nobody
Ain't
knew
it
my name. Nobody knew my name. And guess who I came back and told this information to? Nico White. No one knew Nico White's name before Merle told us where to go introduce people to Carlo and Nika. Nika started doing. Matter of fact, I can tell you that right then, Nika had just turned down being on the YWCA board. I said, "Babe, can you still be on that YWCA board?" She said, "But I told them no." I said, "Oh man, you should have." So she missed that opportunity. She joined the next board and she performed. All I'm saying, Tiffany, is this. I know we're talking about entrepreneurship. Mentorship matters. That's how we have a brand that now promotes, and now we also that has some equity to it that now we can leverage. And then if when I got into banking and I needed a loan, I had a brand to go with the fact that I had an okay credit report. But the truth of the matter is, we were a little early in the business to get a loan, but I still got one. So it all matters in my mentors that I sought out, that I took the risk of saying, hey, I want to know this about you because you do this well. You do branding well. You do insurance well. You do spirituality well. I'm impressed with what you're doing, in your spirituality. You mentor me. There's no one person that's going to do it all. Whatever area you're trying to grow, you find that person that you then can reach out to. Here's the last thing, and I don't want to, because I can flow. Here's the last thing, Tiffany. There's not a shortage of mentors. Where there's a shortage is a good mentees. People that won't waste your time, that won't waste a mentor's time.
Man.
I go to any mentor, and I still look for mentors. One thing I'm gonna tell them, look, it's on me. You ain't got to pay for a thing. And I've been doing that since I didn't have no money. I mean, I've been scraping up my nickels to buy 2 people lunch. But here's the thing. And the first thing I'll do is I promise you. I make them a promise. I say, I want to hear from you on this topic. I've been watching you. I say, this is what I can assure you. I won't waste your time. What you say today won't be in vain. I just need you. And so I have my pen and paper. I tell them, beforehand, I tell them what we want to talk about. Then I reintroduce it and tell them how I've been watching them and how I just want to learn from them. I have my pen and paper. I go to writing. And when I leave there, I go back to the lab. There's something on there that I can put into my formula. There's something in there that I can use to make me better. So, got to take the risk to go get a mentor, and you got to be willing to do the work to listen, learn, and apply as a mentee.
Immediate application. That last point there. Immediate application. Because your mentor will notice when you starting to waste their time. They will. And one thing, once you become successful, time is really money. And you can aggravate somebody real quick when you realize, I'm casting my pearls at you. You ain't treating them right.
And Wendell, and they'll know that by the second meeting. Yes, the second meeting it's going to be all about. Tell me about what you did from the first meeting.
Well, what we talked about in the first meeting, I ought to hear it come up out of you in the second meeting.
Absolutely. If it don't, I'm like,
all right.
Yeah.
But before we go to Stephen, I want Tip and Stephen to hear this thing too, because you said it, and I don't want them to miss that, because when Carlo was talking about brand, he wasn't talking about your business. He was not talking about your business. He was talking about you. You can sabotage the brand of your business. Stephen is actually one of my mentees, and so one of the things that I beat him over the head with is I say, hey man, watch your mouth, watch what you do. And we've had several conversations about social media and all that, and I'll be texting, boy, take that down. Take that down. I said, we try to grow a business now. You can't be just saying whatever. And what I love about Stephen, he got it. He didn't fight it. It made sense to him. And I'm watching him really apply that right now. But Carlo is absolutely right. He and I both, man, we got put on so many boards, it got kind of crazy.
Yes.
But I can't think of a board we went on. But the thing is, they know your name. And when somebody needs something and your name comes up, somebody vouches for you. And we're in the room. They're like, yeah, that's a great guy. You need to give him a chance. That's how a lot of this stuff works. It is not your proposal. It's not your pitch. It is not your price. All that's coming, because if you still fighting with that, you won in a minute. You won in a million. You with a whole bunch of people. But when you got somebody that'll pick up the phone and go, listen, I vouch for him. Just tell him what you want. Tell what does he need to come back with to get the deal. That's how it works.
It's simple. We got to keep it simple. It really is that simple. My first loan, Ebert Jones turned me on to her banker. He came to me. I had all my documents like that fit, because I used to be a banker. So I had all my documents, and I knew my documents. Yeah, we were a little young, so we were gonna need some miracle stuff going on. I had it ready for him. He came and talked to me about Clemson football for over an hour. He talked to me about where I was from, who my family was, this, that, and the other. And towards the end, he said, "Oh yeah, what did you need?" And I said, "Oh, I got all my stuff and everything." He said, "Yeah. Okay, we'll get to that." He said, "But what did you need?" Y'all, I was scared to tell him what I really needed. So I think I need like 75,000. I was too scared for it to come out my mouth. So I told him I 40,000. He said, "Oh yeah, that's done." He said, "How's your credit?" I said, "Yo, my credit's good." He said, "Oh yeah, that's done." was like, the 40, I should have told him I really needed this. I was too scared to do it. But all we're saying is this. If someone picked up the phone and said, hey, go see this young man, came over there, and he literally just talked to me, and he told me this. There's 5 C's to credit. He said the number 1 C he looks for, he said, I've been in banking 25 years, older dude. Been in banking 25 years. He said, I've rarely had a loan go bad. He said, why? He said, because the number 1 C I leaned off of is character.
Character.
He said, and I can get to know somebody just by talking to them. And that's about branding too. People can see your character after they kind of experience you on social media, whatever, what's consistently what you're about. He said, when all the other C's, he said, a person without character can have all the other C's and no character, and they'll find a way not to repay me. He said, someone can have none of the other C's in character, and they'll find a way to pay me. He said, so simply, I leverage off character. And he said, I'm typically a good judge of character. Someone else, Babette told me to come over here. I like what I'm seeing when I'm talking to you. I'm going to give you what you need. It all comes together. Your brand, your brand, which is a representation, is a megaphone of your character, along with other people's endorsements. That's how this thing come together, especially when you start with where most of us start from, where I started from, where Willa started from, and that's from this.
Nothing.
And it's God too, but you got to give God, we got to do the natural stuff of just being of good character so he can add his super on top of our natural. We want God to resurrect some terrible, we won't pay no bills, we won't do nothing, we cussing everybody out, and then we want God to throw some favor on them. Listen.
It ain't happening.
We got to do the natural and then let him add his super on top of our natural. We just got to be pleasant. We got to be cordial. We got to be trustworthy. We got to be to our word. Let's just do that and then watch him put you in front of great men and women that can give you access to things you never had. And that's the way it's come together for me.
Awesome. Steven.
Okay. What happens when you lose your passion or when you're tired? Because I'm like, now, like, that's where I am. Like, to the point where, honestly, like, I want to quit, but something keeps me going. But like, should I take a break? Should I step back and it's okay? I'm gonna take like a week off or 2 weeks off and see, what happens. Or
So a good question, Steven. And here's the deal: if you don't have it, if you take a little time off, that time should be spent you and your family talking about y'all why. Why? Why are you working this hard? Why are you trying to? Because the end goal is what's going to keep you fighting and getting up another day. And it needs to be clear as to why, baby. What are we doing this for? I mean, what do we want? What is it that we're really trying to go out? The Bible says this in it's in Proverbs, I think it's 28, but however it says, without vision, the people perish. Okay? And that word perish don't mean they die. It means they lack discipline. Without vision, people lack the discipline to get up every day. Man, trying to be a success is hard work. Having goals, trying to reach them, trying to stay true to them is hard work. And most people quit because most people don't start with a vision of, why am I going to sit up here and keep doing what nobody else is willing to do? Because I want to go with where nobody else is going. I want to have for my kids what no one else is, but the average person not giving for them kids. I want to be able to shower my wife like no one else is being, that I know it's really showering their wife. I want to live with a freedom that no one that I've ever grew up with lived with. That's why I am going to not only take my lump and acknowledge where I am, I'm tired, take a break, and get back in the fight. If you got to take a break, take a break. If you need to get down to Atlanta to stay in a little hotel for a minute, just you and your baby, y'all take and love on each other, and you get back in the fight. Whatever you got to do, it starts with your why, and then you get up every day and you keep pressing. If it was easy, everybody be doing it. That's what you got to. That's the whole thing. Failure, it's not if you fail, it's when you fail. And when it's when you fail. And then not only that, but then remember, it is all a part of the recipe. It is all a part of the recipe. You got a little cash, you got a little people skills, you got a little failure, you mix all that up, and that's where you come out with success. Because that's where you're gonna learn the lesson. So you figure out a way to rejuvenate yourself and you get back in the game. You don't give up. Winston Churchill said this. He said, um, I think he said success is not no, he said failure is not fatal, success is not final. It is the will to continue that matters. I'm gonna say it again. Failure does not have to be fatal, nor is success final. It's just simply the will to get up and do it. And I know, Stephen, you're challenged sometimes with how do I keep going? All of this kind of headwinds and just like don't seem like I'm getting anywhere as fast as I want to. When you finally get there, you're gonna find another challenge. How do I keep getting up and I got that full bank account of money? I just don't have the drive I used to have, man. I mean, what? That's why it's so hard to win multiple championships. Because it's hard to stay motivated and keep getting up, hitting it, keep getting up, hitting it, keep getting up, hitting it. And so it's a challenge now, but if you learn how to overcome it now because of your end goal and you stay in the fight, you'll have this formula to when you finally get there and your business is rocking and rolling, you got money coming in and everything, it's still going to be a challenge to get up and keep hitting it. But the same thing you did when it was a challenge to do it, you'll do it when you have a windfall and it's still a challenge to get up and keep hitting at it.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that was good.
Wow.
Well, the clock on the wall. I told y'all 45 minutes were gonna fly by.
Yeah.
And so this was a little teaser for you. But I think what Carlo just said, I really want Tip and Steve to take that. Make sure that you can articulate your why. It is even with Carlo, what I teach, for the chamber, we don't even get into everybody want to get into marketing and sales and all that stuff real quick. I said, no, we're gonna spend 3 classes on your why.
Mhm.
And you're gonna get aggravated, but then you're gonna realize I gotta figure out what it is because you are in the center of your life. And if you are not satisfied with it, you're not gonna do it. Because this is just too hard work. You got too many people talk about you, too many critics, too many, just too many. And so you got to figure it out. And Carlos said it to you, he implied it to you. The why sometimes it ain't money. Like I want to be a millionaire. I want to be. No, it got to be something that grab your heart, man. I want my kids to go to college debt free. I want to be able to do this for my parents. And you figure out if you really want to get good, really want to do it, figure out how much that's gonna cost.
Mhm.
And then you'll figure out how big I gotta grow my business so I can afford that.
Mhm.
And then everything makes sense because now I got my reason to get up. I got my reason to work late. I just got my reason. So
Mhm.
guys, articulate your why. As a matter of fact, that's your homework. Yeah. And I'm gonna be pestering you for it. And I don't want no fluffy stuff. I need something in my inbox. Y'all know, both of y'all know me.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And I'm serious. I need to see because we're gonna take advantage of this time that you had with Carlo to prove to Carlo that you value that resource that he just gave to you. I
Pastor,
need you to articulate your why.
can I tell some, Carlo? I was at the Chamber of Commerce event when you and Nico first announced your that y'all were doing the foundation because y'all honored Miss Dolores,
Yes.
who was a mentor of mine. I was working under her at the time, and she had me and I know Nika very well. I used to do Kayla's hair, but so I'm aware. But I just wanted to tell you because I didn't get a chance to tell you that day. The words that you spoke that day have been a constant replay for me as far as being a business owner, and it wasn't the business aspect of it, but it was the God aspect of it, and that whole, and you even said it then, it wasn't about the money for you. It was about just you wanted to change some lives, you wanted to enhance people's lives, and that's why you and Nika started the foundation. I actually applied when y'all did the first giveaway or the first thing, but I just wanted you to know that your words are not falling on deaf ears. Like I absorbed it, I kept it. Pastor, I've been with you since Pastor, you were the one that made me go into business. I don't know if you even remember messaging me from after first service one Sunday, and you told me, you said, God is going to have you go into business. I need you to think higher than your current clientele. And from there, it just went from there. So thank you both for giving us this information and being unknown mentors to me and Stephen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiff. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Tina's gonna take y'all backstage. Don't run off. I want to be able to say goodbye to you. I'm gonna close out the show, then I'm gonna come back there.
Okay.
Carlo, love you, man. Thank you.
Love you, bro.
Thank
Love
you.
Are y'all as excited as I am? That thing got my juices flowing. I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship. I'm very passionate about our people. And I get so excited when I see the light bulbs come on in the eyes of people like Stephen and Tiffany. And I'm so excited for my brother Carlo. I've been able to have a front row seat to watch he and his wife Nico do some incredible things. And listen to y'all, they are a formidable team. Yes, Nico has her consulting business and she's doing fantastic. Carlo has his businesses, but the way they work together, Carlo with Nationwide, Nico brought her marketing skills onto the team, and together they built an incredible agency, and they still play off each other incredibly well. And so we are very fortunate to have them here in our city, and we're fortunate to have the likes of a Stephen Carpenter and a Tiffany Singleton, and I know there are several more like that out there that are watching here. And I hope you are getting inspired, and I hope that you took some notes, and I hope that you're starting to write down a list of people that you want to be your mentor, and begin to pray and seek out opportunities to make your paths cross. Don't sit back and be passive. You got to take some initiative in this thing, and it's incredibly possible. Listen, watch this again, because there were some serious nuggets dropped on you for those of you who are interested in going into business for yourselves. We have an opportunity to really leave an inheritance for our children's children. And again, Carlo, thank you, buddy. Stephen and Tip, thank y'all so much for being a part of this show. And thank you for watching tonight. Again, our hope is to inspire you. Our hope is to discuss relevant topics. We believe this one is it's very paramount for where we are in life right now. And so thank you for being on board. Come back tomorrow night. Here at CYM TV, we're doing something every night up through Thursday. Tomorrow night, we'll have our youth ministry. Bring your baby and sit them in front. We've been doing adulting 101 the last couple of weeks. It's been fantastic. Kenneth Page has done a fantastic job with that. Wednesday, I'll be back with our Bible study on CYM TV to break down Sunday's message. And then Thursday, we have a throwback video for you of me preaching. But we just want to do our part to serve this community that we love so dearly. All right, I'm going to let you go now. So until next time, much love.